The time is exactly 9:39 a.m. This is News and Views right here on Salam Media. We now cross over to talk with Nay San Lwin, co-founder of Free Rohingya Coalition, about the devastating refugee camp fires which have left thousands of people homeless. We don't even know at this point in time what the number of fatalities they are, or have they been reported. However, I'm kind of wondering what on earth is going on, because in March of last year, 15 people died and about 50,000 people were left homeless in Bangladesh after a huge fire destroyed Rohingya homes in the world's biggest refugee settlement. Nay San Lwin, morning, welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you so much for having me here this morning.
Thank you for your valuable time. And this is totally unacceptable, totally unbelievable, because in March of last year already we saw the devastation on the Rohingya people when 15 people died in those fires and 50,000 people were left homeless. Why has this happened yet again, not even a year later?
Well, the fire occur in the camp frequently. Actually, there is lack of the fire safety equipment in the camp, and also there is no way the refugee could put out the fire, and there is no water, and the camp are very crowded, and the small shelter and the small lake. When the fire occur, the fire truck, they cannot access quickly. If we look into the yesterday fire, it was about more than 2 hours. So in 2 hours, at least 500 shelter were burned down, and but the security forces based in the camp, the EPPN, they said about 1,200, but most of the refugee and also other sources based in the camp, especially humanitarian agency, they said more than 500 shelters. But however, that is not the important. The important is lack of the fire equipment. They cannot put out the fire immediately. This has happened since last year. There was the fire before last year, March as well, but those were not the massive. But the last year in March, the massive fire occurred there, more than 50,000 displaced again, and 15 people died. Those people died because they put the barbed wire first there, so they could not escape from the fire immediately because of the barbed wire. So I think in this small place there are more than 1 million people. The local authority there, they should find a way how they can save the human life, and also how they can put out the fire immediately. They have to find a way because this is happening frequently.
It is so sad because these refugees are living in the most inhumane of conditions. They are being persecuted all the time. They are denied their most basic of human rights, and then they still have to contend with these devastating fires. Have you heard as yet if there were any fatalities in yesterday's fire?
Until now, I didn't hear any fatality there yet, but maybe this afternoon or this evening, I will have the more update from the camp. I'm in touch with the people from there. So, these people, as you mentioned, they fled from the genocidal persecution. from the Burmese military, and also in Bangladesh, they are, the biggest problem is that they are not recognized as a refugee there. They are recognized as a forcibly displaced non-national, so they don't have the right. And also, you see in the fire, they have lost a lot of documents. Those can be helpful for their repatriation. So they are losing again and again. At the end of the day, they will not have anything. And according to the one which Al Jazeera report yesterday, a refugee saved 30,000 taka by working, doing just labor. So he lost this money in the fire, and all the important documents, since the shelter are, too small, and also very crowded. When the fire began, they cannot take out anything from their shelter. This way they are losing, and they are now on the open sky. I'm not sure of when they will have the shelter again. So it will take a lot of time. They have to survive in the open air sky.
What a heartbreaking and hopeless story for these refugees. They are poor, they are at the mercy of the different authorities, and then the little meager savings that they've managed to put together has been lost in this fire. What an absolutely heartbreaking story. But that being said, I'd like to hear you tell me that international foreign aid is now reaching these refugees, because it is sorely needed in that area. I'm hoping and praying that the international community puts a plan together to get aid to these people who are absolutely desperate and destitute as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Nay San, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, yes.
Did you hear my question about aid, foreign aid and support from the international community?
Well,
Do you know if that has started happening?
yeah, because the fire began at the around 4:30 p.m. in the evening. That time, all the foreign agency working in the camp, they have already left from the camp to Cox's Bazar, because they are not allowed to live in the camp area, and all. They live in the Cox's Bazar, which is about a 1.5 hour drive from the camp. So this morning, all the agencies are there, all the humanitarian agencies regularly supporting them, the aid, and also there are emergency response teams. They all are in the camp right now, especially those areas, yesterday the fire occurred. So they are responding, but still it will take a lot of time and to place these, the displaced people in the proper shelter. And also there is, relocating is ongoing. The Bangladeshi authority is relocating in the refugee to the remote island in Basan Char. So since the people, they don't really want to go to this Basan Char remote island, which is, very far from the mainland. And I think this Bangladeshi authority will also use this chance to resettle that, relocate them to the Basan Char. So possibly, I think they will be sent to the Basan Char.
Okay, Nay, my final question to you, and just give me a short answer to it. Do you not think that this fire was deliberately started in the camps to get the refugees to Basan Char because they're resisting going to the island of Basan Char?
Well, I cannot tell you this, without proper investigation. Until now, nobody telling that it was intentional one, but most of the people, they are saying it's accidental because a lack of the fire safety equipment there, and the camp condition is really, if the fire occurs at the a shelter, it will spread to the hundred of shelter immediately within minutes because the crime is very crowded. So the investigation from the local authority also, we have to wait and see, and also what the agency are saying, we have to wait and see. So, but for sure, after the displaced refugee, somehow, maybe half of them will be relocated to Bhasan Chari. That is what I guess.
Okay, Nay San Lwin, co-founder of the Free Rohingya Coalition, thank you for talking to us. We pray that God's mercy is with all of the Rohingya people and you as well for doing some sterling work in supporting the most destitute and desperate of people. Thank you for being with us on the show this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your coverage. Thank you.
9:50 exactly, news and views. We're moving on to our final interview for the morning, but first let's pay the rent.
Looking to get your kick?